Alright, I did mine on meat distribution. There's a lot that goes into the meat distribution, and it's $1 billion corporation that goes through it with Tyson and all of the things. Like I was saying, like Tyson is probably your number one selling meat distributor. Walmart buys from Tyson and a lot of other places. Your cattle range, that's where all your cattle come from. Probably a lot of Wisconsin and Kentucky. You got National Beef. You got Heron Pride. That's catfish. But I mean, from farmer to stocker, you got your stockyards that buy the cattle, the ones that sell it off to the slaughterhouses. It's some money to be made if you raise cattle and you sell it. My uncle did it, but it's a lot of work. This later on is what I'll get into, breaking down parts of pig. You got so much you get off of it, and you got to break it down further sometimes. It ain't fun unless you cutting it into pieces. All the parts of the cattle, you got your ribs, your ribeyes, your flanks, your rump roast off the back, all your chuck is up front near the neck. You couldn't imagine working in a slaughterhouse and having to deal with all this. I just work in a regular meat department. In a slaughterhouse, my grandpa worked probably about 20 years. They had to pick up whole cows, split them in half, and pigs, split them in half, and they had to have them hydraulic jacks. Them hydraulic jacks was huge. I've only seen it when I was a kid. After the ordering from the slaughterhouses to the processing plants is where they go, and it's big manufacturers that each person's got one like in particular job they do, and they break down and they go through a convenient belt, just hacking off legs, feet, or whatnot, shipped from them into like small mom and pop grocery stores or Walmarts or other big retailers. This depends on who's needing more of what. I mean, but Walmart and other big retailers getting 80% of it. Ordering now, this is where we come in. That's tricky. Depends on what is going in the ad and what's going to be selling and what time of the month it is. If it's the first of the month, you order more because that's where people are spending food stamps or more checks. Checking the product. When you get in the truck, you got to check your invoice. Number one thing. See if you got marked out anything. See what sells from the manufacturers. Might get a better deal at times. And get ready to put the product out and down stack the truck. You will get anywhere from 100 to 400 pieces. You got to down stack it. Plus, you need to watch the dates from the manufacturer. Sometimes they got so much product going through they miss it. You got to take things and down stack your old, put your new, then re-down stack the old on top of it. You'll be gave out. Cutting. It depends on what time of the month. You'll sit there and cut probably 3-4 cases of what's on sale in the ad, and everything else you just fill a little bit extra after you fill your holes in your counters. But cutting is pretty fun. I mean, it's just depends on how tired you are after you downstack your truck. Chainmail gloves. I've only saw them like once or twice. I don't know how good they'd be if your hand, bump the saw and it would snatch your hand down, I'd figure. But I still wear them for the safety precautions. Pretty neat. This is my number one thing I like to do. I like to grind. It's like playing with Play-Doh. It's if your grind ain't good, your meat ain't good. That's your number one selling thing in the whole meat department. If it ain't good, you go ahead and shut it down and figure out what's wrong. Weighing up the meat with Pick 5 and stuff going on, you got a lot of work in that. That's where probably 50-60% of your money comes from if you have Pick 5. And you'll make the most probably off of Pick 5. A lot of people don't think, look at the prices. Knowing how much to cut could be another big thing. Overcutting is worse than undercutting. I don't care what people say, it is. You can always cut. But if you overcut and it don't sell, it gets thrown in the bone barrel, or they'll take it and process it down into makeup. Strange. Wrapping meat. You got good meat wrapper that stays on it wrapping. I'd rather have a hand wrapping scale because it don't tear up too easy. And and it's wrapped better. It's sealed better. Your meat will stay fresh longer than having this thing. But this, if you got a big scale market, it'll help. But they tear up often after a while. They get worn out. Something goes wrong once every week, or at the least once every 2 weeks, or sometimes 3-4 times every 2 weeks. I don't care for pricing, watching for thieves, making sure the pricing is right, keeping your shelves full. It's a lot after you get everything cut. And especially comes to Christmas, the thieves pop out. And they'll be stealing like they'll be going crazy stealing. And I repeat it every 2 to 3 days, over and over again. Order stockers and the slaughterhouses, get their orders, your manufacturers, and your cattle, people raise cattle, and you repeat it. Keep the ball rolling. Because people love to eat meat.